Then the next one I want to talk about it is this array. And if you click on that, we have the rectangular array and we have the polar array. So I will talk about these two, the rectangular array and the polar array. What they do is that sometimes we um, we have a pattern of one drawing. For example, we have one drawing that is repeated in the specific pattern. So instead of coming here and draw one of them, and then we can use the copy command to create the pattern. So if we draw one and then copy the one in the location one, instead of copying that, we can, if it follows the pattern, instead of copy, we can come and use the array generation. So for example, if I have one rectangle that is exactly repeated, for example 12 times with a very specific pattern, I can either draw one rectangle and copy it 11 more times to have all my 12 rectangle, or just I can create a pattern out of that one rectangle I created. So assume here I come and again I draw a very rectangle here, small rectangle here, and assume I want to repeat that, I want to copy that in a very known pattern. So to do that, we can come here and click on the rectangle array. And as soon as I click on that, it will says that which object do you want to recreate it in the known pattern. So any object, so I click on the object or objects I have, all the objects, and then when I am done, I press enter. And it's automatically is going to create for you, for example here, the 12 of that um, uh, pattern for you. Now you can come and as soon as you press the enter, you see this array creation tab will open here on the top, and then you can come here and modify it. So assume here I have 4 column, so assume I want 5 columns, so I come here and just press 5 and press enter, so it's going to make it 5 column. And here I have, for example, the 3 row, assume I want the 4 rows, so I can come here, click on the 4, click 4 and press enter, and then I'm going to have 4 rows and 5 columns. And then also I can come here and change the distance between them. Assume, for example, I want the distance between each column be 10 millimeters, so I press enter 10 and it's going to make it 10. And assume I want the distance between each row be 15, so I can come here, press 15, and it's going to make it 15. And you can play with all these numbers here, and when you're done, just click on this close array, and then you have them. So you basically you draw only one of them, and then you regenerate that one into as many as one you want, um, if they are following, all of them following the specific pattern. And if you want to modify them, you just again click on them. As soon as you click on them, this array creation will be open here on the top, and when it opens you can go ahead and make your changes. And if you don't want to make any change, just press escape button on your keyboard. It will exit that. So this is one way of creating the array. The other way of the creating the array is that if your array will follow the polar format. So if the array is sitting in the circle. So if I come here and this time we look at here, the one I have is a rectangular array, and beneath that is going to be the polar array. So how that works is that assume I come here and click and generate a very small circle here. Now assume that circle I have, or let me make it a little bit smaller. So assume I have a circle here. Now assume that circle I have, I want it to be generated around the very known points. So for example, let me draw a line here. So have a line here. Let me draw another line here. So assume I want to generate this circle with respect to the cross section of these two lines and have them in the circular format or polar format. So this time I come here, click on the polar array, and would ask me select the object that you want to recreate, and assume this is the one I want. So I click on that or any more object and I press enter. Then it will says that define the center of that circular generation, so circular creation. So assume I want to generate them respect to that center. So I want all these circles will created respect to this center here, or any point that you want. So as soon as I click on that, it's going to create those with that center, and these are the one. And again, as soon as I click on that, you will see that the array creation opens here again. And this time again, I can go and say how many of these one do you want. For example, if I want 5 of them, I can click 5, and then it's gonna be 5 of them created here. Also, I can or I can change the angle with them. And also here is one, and assume if one want another one and another one. So if I click 2, so you are gonna have another one here. If I click 3 of them, so it's gonna create a let me zoom out. So it's created 3 of that pattern for me. Again, maybe I see the 5 is not what I want. I want to go make it, for example, that 8. Click there, and it's gonna make it 8. So you can generate only one circle, and then from that single circle you can generate as many more that you want. With any you can come here and change the angle or change the distance here. For example, if you want the distance between each of these to be increased or decreased, you can come here and change it there. You modify it in a way that you want, and when everything is just modified and it's going to be look like the way you want, you just can press close. So let me go back to one. Assume I want only one array, so it's going to be 1 and compose as 8 circle, and then I click on that, and then I'm gonna have. So these two of one here, the rectangular array and polar array, let you to create the object, the array of objects. If what you are creating follow a pattern, is going to be in there the rectangular or Cartesian pattern, or it follows the circular or basically the polar pattern.